trying to dissect all the differences. I think we should focus on the challenges and the aspirations that these entities bring. But a lot of past online learning, especially by the large for-profit companies that are in the educational space, have really aimed at the replication of the existing classroom in the online world, and as such have inherited some of the same boundaries, typically the same, say, student-to-faculty ratio that exists for a reason in physical classrooms, but for much less of a reason online. And also inherited the economics of those models. So if you go today and sign up for an online class, you'll be hard-pressed to find one that's more affordable than an on-campus class. And that, in my opinion, is a big mistake. It makes, I mean, all these things are wrong. First, copying the existing pedagogical model to the online world will make the online world doomed to be worse, because the physical classroom medium is built around the idea that this is the best you can do in a classroom. It's as uninspirational as trying to make movies exclusively by videotaping a stage play, or by making television exclusively the visual stream of a radio reporter, which is how all these media started. They all moved on and became much, much more powerful, and that's what this revolution is about. It's also misfortunate on the economic side, that is, we have an explosion of student costs today, and that manifests itself when we have a $1 trillion debt nationwide for college costs, with an increase of debt and cost, tuition costs by 7.4% annually for 30 years. And with or without us, we are at the inflection point where the system is collapsing. This is the first generation where the kids aren't as college educated as their parents are. So we are in a disaster. So what we're trying to find is new paths. So for us, we've been very carefully and thoughtfully trying to look at this pilot as a model, not just, actually as a model for higher education, where we innovate on the scalability side, say we can serve many more students. And mind me, our biggest classes have 250,000 students at this point, non-credit. But also innovate in the business side and say, like, what's a rational charging model for students? And it turns out we believe we've arrived at something that's about 10% of the existing charges to students, or 5% or 20%, depending where you go, that is sustainable and can be made work.
So, okay, I'm not sure if I understand. I'm trying to understand what the differences are. And I suspect within your own programs, there must be vast differences. You have different people who prepare classes and maybe do it in very different ways. I mean, aren't you experimenting as you go along?
Okay. Commissioner Quinn, let me try to give you at least a perspective from our vantage point at the foundation. The principal difference between our CSU online, in many cases, and our UC online differ in one approach. So our CSU online, who you're talking to next, and our UC really aren't kind of geared at this point in time to the lower division impacted courses. In fact, I don't think very many courses at this point in time are geared to what the governor's speaking to, and that is, let's get people through. And let's get them through so they're not incurring more debt. I think what the challenge for the massive online providers is going to be is, are they going to see a market that will allow this throughput to actually occur? And I think Daphne mentioned the UC Irvine algebra class, 144,000, I think, last count, all seeking credit. That's going to be something to move them through. Sebastian went to San Jose and made a bold experiment with the governor.